Within the Emperor's throne room on Coruscant, Palpatine presented Thrawn with an insignia denoting his new rank of Grand Admiral. But before Thrawn accepted the new rank from the Emperor, the Chiss noted his concerns about the Imperial Death Star project. He did have his concerns that the battle station could ultimately be used against the Chiss within the unknown regions, but Thrawn had another strategic concern with the Death Star. Thrawn worried that too many resources were being diverted away from a more flexible navy that contained capital ships and starfighters. Thrawn far preferred the use of starfighters and naval vessels to allow for his tactical genius to emerge, rather than massive projects. Therefore, it's not surprising to see Thrawn pushing the TIE Defender project forward by the timeline depicted in the Rebels TV series, roughly 2 years before the Battle of Yavin. His endorsement of the far superior TIE Defender seemed to connect perfectly with Thrawn's statements to Palpatine in the 2017 Thrawn novel. He wanted the TIE Defender simply for its strategic benefits in his battle against the Rebellion. However, with the recent release of the TIE Fighter Owner's Workshop Manual, we have a far clearer picture on exactly why Thrawn pushed for the development of the TIE Defender once he rose to the rank of Grand Admiral. To start, it's necessary to note that when the Empire submitted its initial demands for a prototype starfighter, one of the chief concerns was the betrayal of Imperial pilots against the Empire. Many Imperial leaders, including Grand Moff Tarkin himself, believed that the best way to stop Imperial starfighter pilots from deserting was to greatly limit what was to become the Imperial TIE Fighter, specifically in its range, ability to travel unassisted, and defense systems. With this in mind, the TIE was developed without a hyperdrive system, reducing pilot independence by forcing Star Destroyers and other Imperial vessels to transport pilots and starfighters to their missions across the galaxy. Further, due to the lack of a hyperdrive system or landing gear, pilots would be completely dependent upon flight controllers, who guided pilots in and out of the Star Destroyers' hangars. To further restrict pilot independence and make them more reliant upon the Empire, Tarkin advocated against the implementation of an energy shield system for TIE fighters, systems that were commonplace on almost every military, commercial, and civilian starship across the galaxy. However, perhaps unsurprisingly, these practices didn't make pilots more loyal to the Empire or prevent desertion from the Imperial Navy. In fact, it did just the opposite. But no one knew exactly the extent of these feelings among Imperial pilots until the intervention of Grand Admiral Thrawn. Thrawn thoroughly examined extensive briefings from the Imperial Security Bureau agents who captured and interrogated renegade TIE fighter pilots who attempted to join the rebellion. In every single briefing, Thrawn found that all captured deserters expressed that they were motivated to leave the Empire simply due to their reluctance to pilot starfighters that lacked any type of energy shield or hyperdrive. Thus, Thrawn found that the limitations of the TIE Fighter didn't make pilots more loyal to the Empire as Tarkin and the other Imperial leaders wanted. It actually had the opposite effect. Thrawn submitted a report to Tarkin himself, attempting to persuade the Grand Moff that the Empire should develop a far superior starfighter with enhanced offensive and defensive systems, not just to help their overall fight against the rebellion, but to increase loyalty and devotion among Imperial pilots. Although Tarkin was committed to a doctrine against expensive starfighters, even he couldn't argue with Thrawn's report and findings, ultimately authorizing Thrawn to proceed with his initiative. Thrawn worked diligently with Seiner fleet systems to develop the new model, and compared with the standard TIE fighter, the TIE Defender was remarkably superior. It boosted laser cannons from 2 to 8, implemented warhead launchers, and most importantly, contained energy shields and a hyperdrive system. It even had a tractor beam projector. Therefore, although Thrawn was in favor of the TIE Defender because it was a benefit to his overall strategic goals of a more flexible Imperial Navy, his chief concern was boosting loyalty among Imperial pilots, recognizing that the limits of the TIE Fighter pushed pilots towards the rebellion. And it was this justification that ultimately earned Thrawn the acceptance of his new starfighter from Grand Moff Tarkin. So there we have it, the reason why Thrawn developed the TIE Defender. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions. Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter at SW Reading Club for updates regarding the channel. Or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive rewards and discussions. If not for me, for unintended consequences.